Hello, St. Peter's. Welcome to week 5 in our chapter book series. We're back with Clementine. This is our final week with Clementine. It's been a really fun ride, hasn't it? She has had some amazing adventures. She has had some not so good ideas, but she has also had a couple really good ideas. I have all my friends here with me today to read with us. Ralph, Magic Monkey, Daisy, and our Pig of Joy with her jar of joy, of course. So let's think about what happened in the last couple chapters we read of Clementine. She finally had a really good idea, and it was working, and her dad was excited about it. Do you remember what it was? No, it wasn't wearing the stilts. She had that idea. Remember, she tried to paint the hallway for the workers, and she tried to put the stilts on, but she couldn't stand up. Thank goodness. So she didn't paint. Instead, she went up to Mrs. Jacoby's apartment to see if she could put her cat picture in the window to scare the pigeons away. And while she was up there, she noticed Mrs. Jacoby feeding the pigeons out of her front window. Well, she realized if you fed the pigeons out of the side window that was over the alley, then all of their mess would end up in the alley instead of the front of the building where her dad needs to keep clean. It was a great idea. She ran downstairs. Her parents thought it was a great idea. She was so excited to tell them. And then her mom went to look for her markers to get to work. They weren't there, were they? They were still in Margaret's room under her bed. Clementine said she would go get them, but her dad said, nope, I think it's time we talked to Margaret's mother. So she was up, and then she came back down. She was a little sad the last time we left her. I hope we don't end up with a sad Clementine at the end of this story. Would you like to see how it turns out? All right, so let's finish our chapter book series with Clementine. So here's a picture, beginning of our chapter. The sun's on it. There we go. There's Clementine's mom, and she is furiously washing her hair. We'll see why that came about. Here we go. Chapter 9. I cannot look at your green head for one more day, my mom said as soon as I woke up Sunday morning. So right after breakfast, she took me into the kitchen and started scrubbing my head with scouring powder and saying things I have never heard a TV mother say. She scrubbed so hard, she probably made a hole right through my head skin and my head bone. And now everybody can see right into my brains, and I'd better not do any more cartwheels. Do you really think she put a hole through her brain? No, she's just being dramatic. All the time, I watched out the kitchen window for Margaret's feet. Margaret's brother is not my special friend. I told my mother this, in case she thought I was watching out for Mitchell's feet, which I was not, because he's not my special friend. My mother kept on scrubbing, and all she said was, "That's nice," which is what grown-ups say when they're not paying attention to you. Suddenly, with my amazing corner eyes, I saw what my dad was reading to my brother in the living room. "Stop!" I yelled. Then I flew over and jumped on his lap and slammed the book shut just in time. "Lima Bean is little, Dad," I reminded him. He'd get scared of those shoes. "First of all, your brother's name isn't Lima Bean," said my dad. "And second of all, what shoes, Clementine?" I told you he was not so good at paying attention. Those shoes are pretty hard to miss. "The pointy green ones on the bear," I whispered. "Page 14. Which I knew because, okay, fine, I look at that page a lot. Some days I like to scare myself. Today was not one of those days, though. "It's just a picture, Sport," Dad said. "It's not real. Do you want to try looking at it with me right here?" "No!" I yelled. And then I was mad because now those pointy shoes were stuck in my head, going to worry me all day. I jumped off my dad's lap and ran back into the kitchen because I have discovered that lots of foods are round. Cookies, hamburgers, pizzas, donuts, cupcakes, apples, you name it. All the good stuff is round. I grabbed 2 slices of bologna and I bit them into a pair of glasses, which is a trick I invented and only I know, and now you will too. Fold a slice of bologna in half and then bite right in the middle of the flat side and do it again. Then slap the circles over your eyes and you have bologna glasses. Here is a picture of that. That's the picture of her bologna glasses she drew. That's pretty silly. Have you ever done that? I've made a face out of my bologna a time or two as well. If you haven't, you should try it. It's fun. Then you can eat your bologna. All right, here we go. And then, because I am so good of a sister, and okay, fine, because I was still hungry, I made a pair for my brother too. Here, Peapod, I said, climbing onto my dad's lap and slapping my brother's pair onto his eyes. Put on your glasses. Here's a picture. There's her brother. Here he is. With the bologna glasses that she made for him. That is pretty silly. My brother started laughing so hard he spit up his breakfast waffles. And my parents said, "Clementine, please," at exactly the same time, which I think they practice at night when I'm asleep. But they were laughing too. And suddenly it was a pretty good day, in spite of the hole scrubbed into my head. That good day feeling made me think all about the bad day feelings I'd been having this week. And that made me think about Margaret. And then the best idea of all sprawled right into my brain. Because I am so good at paying attention, I know all the things that Margaret likes. So I ran around my apartment gathering things up. Polka Dotty's flea collar, because Margaret loved my old cat. Pepperoni, because that's the only kind of pizza I have ever seen her eat. The red shoes Margaret makes me put on Barbie every time we play. A blue jay feather from my collection because her favorite color is blue. Some M&Ms because she breathed on mine. Here's a picture of Clementine gathering everything up. All of the favorite things she can think of for Margaret. My charm bracelet because she always makes I wish eyes at it. Lace ripped from my party socks because I borrowed them from Margaret one time and I forgot to tell her. Pink sparkle nail polish because she tried to borrow it from me, but I caught her. A dead bumblebee. I don't know why. The rest of the red curly hair I cut off because that's how we got into all this trouble in the first place. And then I got my mother's favorite hat, a big bottle of glue, and my dad's aftershave, which Margaret and I love to squirt all over us because it has such a heavenly aroma. I glued and I glued and I glued and I squirted and I squirted and I squirted and I smiled. Then I ran out and guess who I met in the elevator? Look at that. Margaret was in the elevator and there's the hat. She glued all those things she just described onto the hat. It's a really nice thought, isn't it? It is a pretty fancy hat as well. Guess who I ran into in the elevator? Margaret, without Amanda Lee. I have something for you. We both said at exactly the same time, which we have never practiced before. Then I handed her the Margaret hat, and she handed me a bag. Inside was a brand new, not sat on sparkle glitter paint set. I got it at the mall, Margaret said. Then, without even a grown-up telling her to, she told me she was sorry she was mean to me on my birthday. I'm sorry about your hair, I said. Okay, fine, we both said. And it was, for about 1 minute. I have to go, Margaret said. I'll see you tonight. Yep, see you tonight, I said. Then I said, what's tonight? The party. Your parents invited us. Oh, right, I said. I knew that, but I didn't. Uh-oh. If my parents were having a party and I didn't know about it, that meant it was a surprise party. Surprise parties are either for birthdays or going aways. It wasn't my birthday anymore. Oh no, she thinks they're going to get rid of her. We'll find out in chapter 10, our final chapter. I raced back to my apartment. My parents were in their bedroom. That's right, a chocolate cake with vanilla frosting, my mom was saying to someone on the phone. Goodbye and good riddance should be in red icing. Make sure they spell her name right, I heard my dad say. Then my mom spelled Clementine. Clementine. And she said she'd be over to pick it up soon. There wasn't much time. Well, I guess I'll go clean my room, I said, real loud. Here's a picture of Clementine heading out to clean her room. So suddenly she thinks if she starts cleaning her room, maybe they don't get rid of her. It is kind of suspicious. The cake is going to say goodbye and good riddance, and then they also spelled her name for the cake. That's why Clementine's worried. Let's see what happens. Well, I guess I'll go clean my room, I said extra loud as I walked through the living room. I tried to make it sound as if these words were used to coming out of my mouth. Yep, I'll just be cleaning like crazy this afternoon. My dad came out and squinted at me, and then he sat down to read his Boston Globe. That's a newspaper. My mother just glanced at me as she passed by to help my brother with his puzzle. Maybe when I'm done, I'll clean Radish's room too, I tried. And then I'll do my homework. If you need me to help with anything or solve any more problems like the Great Pigeon War, just come and get me. Okay, Clementine, my parents said, but they didn't even look up this time. So it was probably too late. Just in case it wasn't, I got the spray bottle of cleaner and some paper towels. Because even though I have never actually cleaned my room, I know that's the first step. Except I didn't know what to do next. I wanted my room to look like Margaret's, like a magazine picture. But I didn't know how to do it. The problem was, everything already looked great to me. Luckily, I knew what my parents would like me to clean. I dragged out everything from the black hole under her bed and piled it on the top of my bed. And you would not believe how much stuff came out. 4 shoes, 3 brushes, and too many hair clips to count. Socks, a really crunchy Easter peep, and the top hat that had been missing from the Monopoly game for 2 years. A Mr. Potato Head nose, 3 library books, my book report due last Monday, and Friday's Saturn sentences. Some more socks, a Halloween mask, the skirt I pretended I lost, 2 flashlights, a mitten, a green plastic trapezoid, a Taking It Easy in the Everglades snow globe, half a button, Polka Dotty's favorite rubber mouse, Mom's yoga video and Dad's needle-nosed pliers, 45 cents, and even more socks. Here it is. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Do you have that much stuff under your bed? I hope not. I don't even know how it all fit under her bed. Look a little more closer one more time. That is crazy, isn't it? But she pulled it all out. I got the things all piled up on my bed. And even though they looked fine to me, I started to clean them. I squirted everything with lots of cleaner and I rubbed hard with paper towels. I squirted and I rubbed all afternoon. It started to get dark outside, but nothing got cleaner. Everything just got wetter and covered with glumps of wet paper towels. Suddenly my eyes were crying and they wouldn't stop. And that's when my parents came in. Here she is, just a little picture. She finally started crying. I just got some cleaner in my eyes is all, I said. I'm doing really great cleaning up my room. But even I didn't believe that. Okay, fine, I said, wiping away the tears so I could see how mad they were at me. I am sorry, sorry, and I won't be like this anymore. Like what, Clementine? My mom asked. What are you talking about? Like whatever you don't want, I said. I won't talk so much and I'll clean up my room for real and I will think about the consequences before I do stuff. And I won't do stuff anyway. And I will never lose my homework because I will never lose anything. And I will sit so still. You will think, hey, is that Clementine or just a statue of Clementine? And I will never bring another note home that says Clementine had a difficult day at school today. And I will bring hundreds of notes home that say, wow, Clementine certainly pays attention in school. And the underneath of my bed will look like the underneath of normal people's beds. And my hands will always be where they belong. And I will take piano lessons again. But this time I will sit on the bench the whole time. And then I ran out of air. I took a big gulp. I won't be like me anymore. And then I'll be the easy one too, as easy as celery. So you don't have to get rid of me, which I know about because I heard you say one's all we need. And then I heard you order a cake and that says goodbye and good riddance, Clementine. My parents both ran over to me and hugged me at the same time, a hug sandwich. Then they took my hands and brought me out to the dining room. Here's a picture of the hug sandwich. Boy, was she upset. I think I would be too if I thought I was getting kicked out of the family. And there was Margaret and her mother, and Mitchell with my brother on his shoulders, all looking at me. I scrubbed my face to make sure there weren't any tears left, even though I did not care what Mitchell thought because he's not my boyfriend. My brother yelled, "Prize!" And everybody else yelled, "Surprise!" And then they stepped out of the way so I could see the dining room table. And on it was a cake. All right. But it didn't say goodbye and good riddance, Clementine. It said goodbye and good riddance above 1,000 frosting pigeons. And then under it, it said, thank you, Clementine, hero of the Great Pigeon War. Oh, here's her cake. It's pretty cool, right? So it does say all those things, but not exactly how Clementine was thinking. Well, what about the one's all we need thing, I asked. What about that? My mom and my dad smiled really, really big then. Wait right here, sport, Dad said. He went into the hall and came back with a big box. Open it up. So I did. And do you know what was in there? Can you guess? A kitten. I am not kidding you. There was only one left, Dad said, and we told them, one's all we need. I lifted the kitten out of the box and took him into the bathroom to get him a name. Right away, I found the most exquisite word. I held him up to my cheek and told him his name, and he started to purr, which filled up a space in my ears that had been empty since Polka died. Here she is with her kitten. Isn't he so cute? I wonder what she named him. It's always something from the bathroom. Let's find out. When I came back out, I saw Margaret wanting to touch my kitten, and I saw her tell her hands to be quiet about that because he was mine and he was new. I wanted to say, the rule is no touching my kitten because it's the rule. But I didn't. Instead, my mouth opened up and said, want to pat Moisturizer, Margaret? Her cat is named Moisturizer, yes. Which was a very big surprise, let me tell you. We know it's not the same as having Polka Dotty back, my mom started. He's different, my dad said. I know, I told them. He's perfect. Then I looked up and saw that everything else was perfect too. My mother in her overalls, my comedian father, my brother who didn't get stuck with a fruit name, Margaret in her Margaret hat, Mitchell slicing the Clementine the hero cake, my not from a magazine apartment. So when Margaret's mother came over and said, "Tomorrow after school, I'm taking both you girls to my hairdresser to fix up those haircuts," I almost said no thanks because I didn't want to change a single thing. But she was smiling at me, and that looked perfect too. So I smiled back and said, "Great." And then I passed out the cake, and I was extremely polite because I served everyone else a slice first. And then at the very end, I took one. Okay, fine. The end. But there is one more picture to show you. Whoops, not that one. Which is Clementine at her party with her family and her friends. Can you see it? Yep. Finally, Clementine is happy with what's going on, right? It turned out great. She realized that even though maybe her parents and her family looked different than Margaret's, it was perfect for her. So even if your family looks different than my family, or looks different than one of your friends' families, it doesn't mean someone else's family is better. It means that you are in the family that's perfect for you. And that's pretty special. I had fun on my adventures with Clementine. Did you have fun? I really hope so. So remember, boys and girls, if you have gone through all of the chapters of Clementine, there are 10 of them. So that means there's 5 videos. I read 2 chapters in each one. If you've seen them all, now you can take the AR quiz. If there's things you don't remember, maybe go back and watch some of them so you can hear it all. And this book is worth 2 AR points, so it can help you earn your AR points for the quarter because we're at the midterm. So we got to get those points boosted up to keep your grade up. All right. And this book, once again, is called Clementine. That's what you type in for AR. And the author is Sara Pennypacker. All right. So if you need to pause this here so you can type that in, that's okay too. Or if you need to write it down. All right. I hope you do that because that'll help you out. Next week, we'll be back with a new adventure. I'm not going to tell you what it is. It's going to be a surprise. It'll be a kind of a different story than what we've been reading with Clementine, but it will still be fun. What do you say we spread some joy? What do you say, Joy? You ready? She is so ready. She's been sitting up here, listening to the story. Now, there are more books that Clementine is in. It's a series. So if you're interested in reading more Clementine books, let me know. Send me an email because you can check them out. If you're a St. Peter student, you can check them out. Even if you're a virtual learner, I'll get the bag ready and you can pick it up. And if you're not a St. Peter student, check out your local library. I know they have Clementine books by Sara Pennypacker. Ask the librarian and they will be very happy to help you, I am sure. All right, let's see how we're going to spread our joy today. Oh, this one's from Delaney. It was her idea. And it says, sing to someone. Guess what? I already sang to someone today. Someone told me they didn't think that they were a very good singer. I said, well, that's okay. Did you ever hear that song? Sing, sing a song. Sing out loud, sing out strong. Don't worry that it's not good enough for anyone else to hear. Just sing, sing a song. Right? It doesn't matter if you're a great singer, or if you're just an okay singer. If you're singing and your face is smiling and you're spreading joy, the people around you are going to be happy. So go out there and sing a song. That's a great way to spread some joy. It's easy, simple. You could call your grandma and sing her a song. I know she would love that. All right, boys and girls, I've had great fun on our adventures with Clementine. I know you are ready and you're excited to find out what the next book is. So join me back here next Friday and you'll find out. Until then, have a fabulous weekend. The sun is shining. It's going to be a beautiful fall weekend. Go check out some leaves maybe. Get your pumpkins. I'm going to go pick some apples today. How about that? All right. Until next week, keep spreading your joy.